So again, ladies and gentlemen, here is the beginning of the clip where they're breaking all this garbage down.
You know, the campaign, Trump didn't think he was going to win, even on election day. Right. But it was all about money. It was all about making contacts. We've said this before, but I think the most remarkable thing about it is that even now that he's president, it's still all about money. Like, he's not sitting there thinking what Barack Obama or George W. Bush or Bill Clinton or Ronald Reagan thought. Like, what is my legacy going to be? He's thinking every day, how can I leverage this so when I get out of the White House, I can make even more money?
Knowing them, I think they're shocked that the noose is tightening, because I don't know if they were arrogant or just incredibly unself-aware and really dumb about, like, what the job was about, how important.
This is just like all the very same people, including these two clowns, on television hundreds of times a piece, saying Trump will never win, he's not really running to win, he's a fraud, Hillary's 15, 20, 30 points ahead, Donald Trump's not going to be the president, just hammering that lie. Yeah, if he wasn't going to be president, why was he making 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 campaign stops a day? Why was he screaming and yelling, at the crew to work harder and to win, win, win? Why was he so incredibly committed and not backing down, even when they put out all those lies about him? He is the president. You're a fraud. And you're the people that have hijacked this country. And Trump's delivered, bringing back the prosperity almost instantly. So he's a winner. You're a loser. He told the truth. You're discredited liars. Get that through your head, scum. Let's continue.
Important it was, and how under the microscope every move you made would be. I think they just thought they'd go in.
There is nothing. There is no collusion. They've charged people for stuff they did 10 years ago that wasn't even illegal, or what an FBI agent that worked for Hillary Clinton and covered up for Hillary Clinton said happened in a conversation versus NSA intercept recordings. On the word of some Clinton FBI agent that he just said something a little different, but they admit it wasn't collusion. Was talking to the Russians about crushing ISIS, which the National Security Advisor better be doing. You are lying scum. Sorry, go back to her.
There and flim-flam and riff through it.
You know,
and I think they're shocked that the noose is tightening.
They're
people
shocked.
Might go to jail.
You're exactly right.
For the rest of their lives.
This is just like Joy Behar, who we're going to play again when we come back, celebrating. Yay! He lied. Trump's going to jail. He worked with the Russians. They stole the election. The proof's out. Flynn admits it. Fake news. Con game. Confidence game, liar. Trump won. You lost. You're scum. The economy's coming back, scum. You're not going to get to ride on our backs anymore and piss on us anymore, Brzezinski. You and your bloodthirsty father. Let's go back to her.
What's gotten them where they are right now, Josh, is a gross misunderstanding
of your rogue government.
The rules of Washington.
The rules of Washington.
Surrounding public service.
Hit pause again. The intelligence agencies have 7 ways to Sunday to get back at you? What's happened to them is they waddled into a group of you guys that have hijacked the country and think it's going to go on forever. Nothing you do will ever put mainstream media back on top. Nothing you do, Scarborough. No one likes you. Everyone hates you. You got that stupid former RNC head up there on screen with you. He got caught in a bunch of corruption. That's why he's up there with you. The Republican establishment, the Democrat establishment, here's your eviction notice. Get out of our lives, scum. I'm going to come back and finish up with this on the other side. It makes me so angry. Oh, the noose is tightening. You're all going to jail for a very, very long time. You didn't know the rules of Washington. You don't know the rules of history, you little cockroach. It is so hard for me to play this clip and not get angry, because I know how bad Mika Brzezinski is. I know how bad Joe Scarborough are. I know what liars they are, what fake news kingpins they are, what con men and women they are. Same folks telling you Trump would never win and putting out the fake polls. I mean, they're just such trash. And now to have them salivating over a noose around Trump's neck, and they're all going to prison for the rest of their lives, and this whole con game with a bunch of washed up politicos from both parties all nodding their heads, like telling a 3-year-old Santa Claus is real and Trump's going to prison because he really did something and he got caught because he didn't know how Washington worked. He didn't know how to kiss everybody's butt with all these arrogant mummies up there, and he just wants money, and he's a fake person, and he's evil. While the economy's coming back, while all these good things are happening, we're getting our sovereignty back, so many good things, and here are these sick establishment people that ran the country in the ground shaking their finger at us, telling us how our champion's evil. You are going to lose, filth, and you are enemies of this country. Now let's go back to the disgusting clip from the beginning, since I interrupted it a bunch. I'm going to try to give limited interruptions here, because we need to just, for posterity, look at what true sociopathic pieces of trash are. Because as Trump calls him, Psycho Joe, and her dad was a famous criminal. I mean, he talked about how he helped put the Khmer Rouge in that killed millions, and how he just all the evil things they did, and wrote books about how the elite controls the criminal operations of the planet, and he wants a one-world government. And these are just parasitic filth, and I pray to God the day these people are finally completely out of our lives. I pray for justice against them. And I pray for investigations. I pray for justice. Now let's play Enemies of Our Family. Here they are.
You know, the campaign, Trump didn't think he was going to win, even on election day. But it was all about money. It was all about making contacts. We've said this before, but I think the most remarkable thing about it is that even now that he's president, it's still all about money. Like, he's not sitting there thinking what Barack Obama or George W. Bush or Bill Clinton.
Sorry, I just can't do it. Trump went to office at 70, the oldest president ever elected, and spent his own money. That's never happened before, except for George Washington, and we all know what he did. He was a good guy, the founder of the country. These people all went into government, then got rich after. The Clintons, Joe Scarborough, all of them. And they're sitting there saying about Trump what they've done. Trump's the American model of the successful person that goes to Washington to fix things and then leaves, not career swamp creatures. But here's swamp creatures telling you Trump's a swamp creature.
And thought, like, what is my legacy going to be? He's thinking every day, how can I leverage this so when I get out of the White House, I can make even more money?
Impossible.
Knowing that
he's leveraging this, thinking, hey, when there's a dead intern in my office and I got to leave Congress or whatever, how do I leverage this now for 15 years on television spouting disinformation? Again, everything he's saying is about him. Everything he's talking about is about him. Let's continue.
I think they're shocked that the noose is tightening, because I don't know if they were arrogant or just...
Actually, Trump thinks it's all a big, giant joke and keeps saying collusion. What collusion is there? We worked with Russia to crush ISIS. That was all public. We asked them not to put sanctions on Israel. Oh, we're so evil. And it's all completely transparent. That's what national security advisors do. Oh, they are shocked that the entire Clinton apparatus could have Mueller literally up its rear end with Comey as doing a proctology exam, and they all worship each other, and they're all involved in incredible corruption and collusion with Russia, China, you name it, selling the country out. They're the globalists trying to kill the recovery, and they turn around and say, those of us that are retaking the country, we're the foreign power? Yeah, right. Everything you say about us is what you are. You are the enemy. You are indicted in the public. You are indicted in front of God. And nothing you're ever going to do is going to change that trash. Let's continue. I'm sorry. I just can't shut up during it.
Incredibly unself-aware and really dumb about, like, what the job is about.
I'm sorry. Incredibly unself-aware. Boy, you said it. Have you seen your ratings? Have you seen how you have no credibility? Have you seen how you're known to be fake news? How you're a laughingstock joke going bankrupt? Yes, you are incredibly... unself-aware. Let's continue.
And it was, and how under the microscope every move you made would be. I think they just...
So I'm going to start over at the beginning, but I just have to keep doing this because start over at the beginning. This is the anatomy of fraud. They are in shock that every person that ever had a golf membership or every person that ever bought a condo is being harassed going back down 25 years, and they're going back and nothing to do with Russia. Nothing to do with Russia on anything, and they want to put Flynn in jail for working with Turkey. I mean, that's all they've got. So, yes, the incredible witch hunt, microscope, and you're so powerful with your little Mueller, who's like your king, your swamp god, your unelected creature that you bet everything on, where he waddles around in public acting powerful. We're so impressed with you. No, America hates the swamp. They hate the Democrats. They hate you. They hate the Republican leadership. They know you're a fraud, and you're just waking them up. So keep doing what you're doing, you arrogant tart. Let's continue.
You know, the campaign, Trump didn't think he was going to win, even on election day. Right. But it was all about
and pause
money.
Again.
It was
that intern didn't know she was going to go to that office that night and get her brains knocked out. I bet she never knew she was going to your offices that day to die that night. And if she's looking down from heaven, she probably didn't know how she just fell over and killed herself. And when the cops were like, she fell over and hit her head and died. Okay, so she probably didn't know she was going to die either. I'm sorry. Let's start it over. Well, let's go back to Election Day.
You know, the campaign, Trump didn't think he was going to win, even on election day. Right. But it was all about money. It was all about making contacts. We've said this before, but I think the most remarkable thing about it is that even now that he's president, it's still
the intern's
all about
head.
money.
They said it was
He's
a blunt
not
force,
sitting there thinking
what
Barack Obama or George W. Bush or Bill Clinton or Ronald Reagan thought. Like, what is my legacy going to be? He's thinking every day, how can I leverage this so I
can pause real quick. You know, if there was an intern here, a young female intern who got her brains bashed out one night, you think there'd just be no investigation about it? Just, oh, she knocked her brains out. I'm just asking. Why doesn't Joe even respond to the president bringing that up about him and say, hey, this is a bunch of bull? I'm sure it is. I mean, why not talk about the intern? Tell us her name. Tell her what she hit her head on. Please. Let's go back to Mr. Joe. Here he is.
To the White House, I can make even more money.
Knowing them, I think they're shocked that the noose is tightening, because I don't know if they were arrogant or just incredibly unself-aware and really dumb about like what the job was about, how important it was, and how under the microscope every move you made would be. I think they just thought they'd go in there and flim-flam and riff through it. You know, and I think they're shocked that the noose is
shocked how the economy roared back and everything.
Jail.
You're exactly right.
For the rest of their lives.
Well, this is flim-flam. I want some more of it.
What's gotten them where they are right now, Josh, is
they have a swamp creature in league with Russia climbing up their rear ends.
Of the rules of Washington, the laws surrounding public service, and constitutional norms, coupled with the arrogance of New York developers thinking, and I know, I talked to them, thinking people in Washington were just dumb local yokels. Yeah. And they just get out of our way.
They don't know how to
don't wait. No. Listen. You guys have had your opportunity, and you got, come on. You're just a bunch of hicks in Washington, D.C. Let the big city developers come in, and we're going to show you. They wouldn't listen to anybody, and they stumbled into one possible crime after another possible crime, and then Donald Trump goes into his mode. He thinks
keep dreaming, boy.
On Bob Mueller,
keep dreaming, scumbag.
Is the same as taking on Rosie O'Donnell.
Getting back to what I spent 2 segments on the Morning Joe, salivating about nooses around Trump's neck, and they're all going to jail for the rest of their lives. And the last part I didn't have time to get to because the break, they're like, the Constitution, you know, we've got constitutional rules in D.C. These are the people that sold us out to foreign secret multinational combines. These are the people that deindustrialized the country, that gave the Panama Canal to the Chi-Coms, flooded open borders, said they wanted to get rid of our sovereignty. I mean, these people are the plague when it comes to sovereignty and prosperity. And then they sit there, the daughter of a famous evil wizard, Zbigniew Brzezinski, literally, a political demon who engineered much of the modern New World Order. And then you've got Morning Joe up there with all his skeletons in his closet and all his bull and all his no ratings and the joke that he is, telling us that Trump was arrogant, and Trump didn't care about the little people, and Trump came into D.C. like it was flyover country. See, they know Trump went to flyover country. He loves flyover country. He empowered flyover country. So everything is scientifically like, say he's against flyover country. Compare D.C. to grassroots, common people, and this big out-of-towner that came in, big fancy New Yorker. Trump's family came into New York and kicked butt. Just like they came into D.C. and kicked butt. But again, they take all of Trump's strengths and turn them around into weaknesses. That's why it takes me so long to go over a collection of garbage like that. Nika Brzezinski and Morning Joe Scarborough are, to take a term from Lord Trump, they are a pile of garbage. You are garbage. You've had your foot on our neck forever, and now Trump's halfway removed the foot, and we're getting oxygen again, and life's coming back into us, and a bunch of gremlins are running around on the deck of the ship trying to make sure we go under. So make sure you arrogant narcissist and your con game garbage realize you have failed, you're going to continue to fail, and you will fail. You are filth. Ladies and gentlemen, Nika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough are the epitome of the arrogant Washington trash that literally hates this country and gets off on it with all the other scum that have hijacked the nation. You got to hate a country to want to run into the ground. That's why they put people that hate us in charge. It's not like there's that many people that hate America in the U.S. You've just got to be one of these people to be in the power structure. Well, guess what? We don't want a power structure. We want the country to be strong and the planet to be strong, and you parasites will be removed. They're both like horrible foot-long tapeworms, man. I'm telling you. Tapeworms that we've vomited out and crapped out, and they're just trying to force-feed themselves back into our lives. They're like gonorrhea or syphilis. I mean, they are just, they're like HIV. They're like cancer. They are just... you have to understand, folks, they literally want to destroy you, okay? God, they're evil. I mean, do you realize how evil these people are? How committed? I know folks know behind the scenes, man. She is so rude. And I've talked to 4 different people that have been guests on the show. And they tell me, rock stars, you name it, that behind the scenes, she treats her employees like, they're just like, she just tells the people, this coffee didn't have what I wanted. I'll have you fired, you moron, idiot. And then Scarborough shakes at her, and she goes, get over there. And he's, yes, ma'am. I mean, you know what? I think I'm going to make contact with some of those folks and get the full dope on you guys. I know people that have been at dinner parties with them, and it's the same. She is just so evil and so into herself, like her evil father, that she just sits there and just goes, I mean, she just, I mean, that's the spirit. They're like from upside down world, folks. You understand, they've broken into this dimension. They want to destroy us. She thinks she's better than everybody. She's so hyper mentally ill dominant that she's just completely cuckoo. All right. Coming up, though, the harpy Joy Behar issues a fake apology for the fake news she put out last week. But first, if you want to wage war against the globalist, InfoWarsStore.com. They can't stand the fact that you fund us. They can't stand the fact that they've tried to destroy us, but you've supported us and gotten great products in exchange. A total 360 win-win-win-win-win. As the fiery finger of the Lord wrote into the stone, marble tablets. Marble tablets of Mueller. Mueller. What a disgusting group of insane swamp creatures who thought you'd steal the election and thought you'd steal the nomination and thought you did steal it from Bernie and think you'll steal everything. You've been stealing our future and siphoning our money off and screwing us over and brainwashing us and trying to demoralize us and attacking our families and trying to disease us with all your vaccines and GMOs. But finally, we're awake. And those stunned, and in some cases crawling on our knees, we're still mountains above you with our consciousness. So Joy Behar's coming up. The funding absolutely makes the globalists pull their stinking, degenerate, murdering vampire hair out. Hey, psychic vampires, get ready, because we're coming for you, and we don't get weaker when we take you out. We get stronger. You've met your destruction. You've met vengeance. You've met the will of the universe to have life, so get ready.